Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are safe and you are with someone you care about who also cares about you. We made it through another week. Congratulations. Believe it or not, we are now more than halfway through July. I cannot believe it. It does feel like it was the 1st of July, literally just a few days ago, but we're barreling towards August. And that means we are now in peak summer heat. And if you're watching this and going, you're standing in a strange place, it is because I've tried to move around so we don't get a solar flare on the side of the camera as we're filming. It's also going to be really incredibly hot today. I think temperatures are due to hit like 36, 37 degrees Celsius, which is blinking hot, whatever temperature scale you use. Today, though, for the Sunday Musing, I want to talk to you about something that has been on my mind for a while. We humans are very good at saying one thing and doing something completely different. We might say, oh, we are not going to have any chocolate, full stop. And then maybe we sneak chocolate now and then when no one is looking. Or maybe we say, yep, I'm definitely going to work out every single day. And then we end up skipping days. For what it's worth, I have actually now worked out for nearly a full year without taking a day off, so which is something I'm incredibly proud of. I've been trying to do that for a long time and I'm finally got into the pattern, partly because I gamified things. But really, that's not what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about that kind of concept, what we say we want versus what we actually do, and put that into a vehicle context. So one of the comments that we get a lot, and I really do mean a lot on the channel, and it's something that Kate, Elliot and I say in our reviews, is, yeah, that car is way too expensive. It's got too many bells and whistles. It's got too many gadgets. And I don't want a car with all of those, telematics up the wazoo and all of the self-driving or semi-autonomous driver assistance features. I don't want any of that. Give me an EV with wind-up windows and seating for 5 and a decent load bay and a half-decent range and decent charging, and I will be happy if it's priced under this amount. And I get it. I really get it. Of the vehicles that I have in my personal fleet, I think the one I enjoy driving the most is the one that is the oldest, the cheapest, and has the fewest gadgets, although we have added semi-autonomous driver assistance features thanks to Comma. But at the same point, there is something nice about getting behind the wheel of a high-end luxury vehicle and feeling a little pampered and pressing a button and going, oh, that button does something that my car doesn't do, whether it is, park itself, whether that is massage your seat. Although I think all seat massaging functions should be banned because I hate them. They actually end up giving me a stiffer back than whatever I had before I turned it on. Seat cooling. I think seat cooling is wonderful. I think every car should have seat cooling. Is it a basic function? Probably not. And when it comes to buying a car, personally, I might want to go for a bare bones entry-level model, but as is obvious, as has been evidenced with my Ford F-150 Lightning Lariat, I ended up going with like one down from the top trim. And I jumped through some metaphorical justification hoops to do that. Now, in my case, I personally feel that my metaphorical justification hoops are valid. I do a lot of driving. We needed to be able to tow decent amounts of stuff. We regularly tow quite heavy things with the truck. And so having that max tow package ensures the battery packs and the motors have a less stressed life, ensures we can tow what we need to, where we need to, etc., etc. I wanted to have the vehicle to home capabilities, which at the time was only included with the extended range versions of the F-150 Lightning. And I went through all these hoops, right? Oh yeah, but I definitely need a a rear window to the cab that can open so we can pass cables out to film with, which genuinely we do need. But if we had a truck without that, maybe we would have come up with a solution already that would have been slightly different. I mean, I've passed some other cables into the truck cab on this truck without going through the window. So I'm sure I could have come up with a similar solution for the video cables and the power cables and the control cables we use when we're filming chase shots or rollers. But at the crux of this are people that talk about vehicles like the Slate pickup truck. And as a side note, a lot of people said to me, why didn't you go up to film with Slate in Seattle? Slate were holding an event up in Seattle this week, actually. And we have been trying to get hold of Slate and talk to Slate for literally weeks. And they have ignored us, not returned our calls. I actually reached out to colleagues in the automotive press, and they've all said the same thing. Nobody at Slate is talking to journalists, which unfortunately I view that as a bit of a red flag. Quite frankly, if you're not willing to let a journalist near your vehicle, or you want to extremely vet who you let near your vehicle, that doesn't look good on you as a company. But let's talk about Tello. Tello is much more open to having people out and work with them and film. Hopefully we're going to get to go and film with Tello. We're working on a potential at some point in the distant future. I've got a couple of contacts that I'm following up with right now. But they are a very basic bare bones truck. It's not maybe as bare bones as the Slate, but those two pickup trucks have kind of grabbed people's attention because they are not massive, oversized, super expensive vehicles that are obviously oversized for the majority of their owners. But I have been thinking about the number of people who go, well, yeah, I just want a hatchback with wind down windows, and I just want a hatchback that does this, or I just want a small sedan that does this. And the question I have for you today is, but do you? But would you? What we say and what we do are two very different things. It's why, Rachel Maddow of MSNBC says, watch what they do, not what they say. It's a reference to politicians who very often will say a whole host of different things that they're going to do, but then end up doing the exact opposite. It is on demonstration every day on Capitol Hill right now and in so many other governments around the world. And I think when it comes to buying vehicles and the tech we want, we all are guilty of doing the, oh yeah, but, oh yes, we'd love the base model, but. And when we go to buy at dealerships, we end up talking ourselves into extra things. The number of people I know who have bought an EV, some of them because they know me and they wanted to get into EVs after experiencing ours, who I always thought of as very kind of financially prudent and very level-headed folk, coming out of a dealership, having just signed up for massive numbers of extra add-ons and features that they know they're not going to need and I know they don't really want. And yet somehow part of that process kind of hooks us. Oh, it's only another $10 a month, or it's only another $50 a month. And then before we know it, we've got a much more heavily equipped, more expensive vehicle than what we went in to buy in the first place. There's a big truck going up the road, so you'll hear a lot of a noise in a second. Here it goes. Yep. That's a water truck. That doesn't look good. I know there's been smells of forest fires in the air around here, and I have just splurged some of my own cold hard cash in my savings account on an air gradient sensor to go outside so I can monitor the air quality, because right now there are forest fires around. I can smell them. But anyway, back to the topic of the video. What is your real stance? Don't cut the crap, okay? Don't lie to yourself and say, yes, I just want a base model vehicle, when you really know, actually, I'd quite like a slightly more expensive one, or I'd like these features. So I want to know where your genuine flaw is. What features would you absolutely say, yeah, I don't want them, I don't need them, please remove them from this car? And what features do you say you don't want, but actually, maybe if no one's looking, you might want to give them a go or might use them? Because I'm trying to get a gauge right? Automakers think that everybody wants high-end vehicles. You've told me that's not true, but I also think that there is kind of that little bit of elasticity into what base trim really means. So let me know your thoughts in the down below, and I will be back here this time next week. Before I go though, I do want to shout out and note that we're trying to double down on our Mastodon discussions, I suppose. We're trying to be more active on Mastodon. Blue Sky is proving a bit of a bitter pill for us, but we are there also. And we do now have the Transport Evolved website back up and running, and we're going to be adding new features to it over the next, couple of months. It took me all day on Tuesday to get it back up and running. I had done some silly things to it, and it was hosted by Squarespace. We are now self-hosting. A, to save money, but B, because we don't want AI all over our website. Thank you very much. So we're trying to go back a little bit to grassroots and open source as much as possible. So yeah, check it out if you haven't already. And we also are coming back as a podcast for the News Roundup show every Saturday. So lots of news coming. I'm sure I'll make a video on it very soon. But until then, take care. Thanks for joining us today, and if you've got thoughts, make sure you leave them in our Discord chat room, on our Patreon page down below, or you can reach out to us on Mastodon or Blue Sky, or in fact, now our new website. Thanks to the list of names scrolling by on your screen right now. They are part of the massive community of supporters who make this channel possible, helping us through Patreon and YouTube, covering our bills, paying our team, and helping us to remain 100% independent. If you'd like to join them and see your name listed here, just follow the links below. We've got options available across a range of different price points from $1.50 US a month. A massive welcome to our newest supporters: Michael Anders, Tim Lynch, Kyriakos, Keith Irvin, Eric Printer, Chip Chandler, Marek Korlowski, Thornelli, Jake Alper, Howard Robertson, Dan Bow, Rex Baker, Bob F., Mark Brooks, Norman Davidson, Jean Lim, Lee Goldberg, Joseph Jarvis, John Taylor, Yaya, Kira Bell, Jim Richard, Andrew Honeycutt, Lee W. Benjamin, and Hacktor. To join the list and get your shout out, become a paid Patreon member today for your moment of fame, and you can now even gift membership to someone else. If you'd like to support us with a one-off donation, you'll find links below to make Ko-fi and Bitcoin donations, and you can also send us a check through an old-fashioned PO box. There's a link to our website with the address below. Below, you'll also find links to our swag store, and if you are someone who has to shop on Amazon, please consider using our affiliate link so we get the commission, not Jeff Bezos. So we can continue to focus on making our content even better and reduce burnout. We are a little fresher these days with the days we release content, but we do plan on dropping new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday on this channel, plus something on Sunday over on Transport Evolved Take 2. If you want to watch more from us, the algorithm that hates us thinks you should be watching this video, but this one is one that we think you will also enjoy. Be awesome, be kind, be intentional, and don't forget to resist. Keep evolving.